Flashing lights in the dark, barracks on up. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark, barracks on up. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire, chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. of the endless night. Fight to fight, we live to speed. Nothing defeats our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Tuesday night iRacing League Racing Series race live from the Texas Motor Speedway for the OTSS Select Series presented by Empower Ed. And this is the Countdown to Green presented by, of course, Icon Apparel Company, where we're going to talk about some stuff, go over the points after 3 races, head off into race number 4, and let's check the weather out. It's not cold like it is in actual United States, but either way, here we go. Air temp 68 degrees, track temp 72. Pretty windy out here at Texas, and the first night race of the season, cloudy and dark. And there's the series breakdown right above that. You got pick setup. Thanks for the correction, Dustin. 3 set of tires and bits, and 3 green-wide checkered attempts will be had here this evening. At least they will have those in the bank just in case they need them. And that's that. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty. To my right side, Mr. Jason Rockefeller back at it. 1 week hiatus after returning, and he's here to call Texas with me. What's going on, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Jeremy. I know, obviously, you being a Florida native, you haven't really gotten to experience the ice-cold weather that has been obviously circulating around the Northeast and then the Northwest. I know up by Dustin, it's absolutely freezing up here. I would kill to have 68-degree weather, and I will say I can't wait to experience that warm weather again come end of February. I'll be going to the St. Petersburg Grand Prix for my first IndyCar race. So excited. But obviously, we got some virtual trucks here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Got to catch some of the broadcasts last week. Very interesting race. And talk about the man, Danny White. Danny W. gets it done in Pocono on a late race restart. What a fantastic job by him. He's been one of the strongest drivers so far these first 3 races. And he's picking up right where he left off last week. Currently up on the boards. He's the fastest man in practice with a 29.814. So he still has it, just going to show you that Danny can very well go from a track with 3 different corners to a cookie-cutter D-shaped mile-and-a-half oval like Texas, but has some characteristics to it. I think Danny's definitely going to be the man here to watch for tonight, but along with so many other drivers here in the field tonight.
Yeah, Danny's gave a huge shout-out to his team last week during his post-race interview. You know, he would tell you early 2025 he was probably next to dog water level, but he said his teammates have really just picked him up on a whole new level. It's clicking for him. He's figuring it out, and now he's leading practice here. I think this is his first practice that he might take the W on. So good to see the 64 up and running. 1 point advantage over EJ Luna, driver of the 24. As there's your point stands on the left-hand side. Everybody else is 20-plus points back. It's a real tight race from 3rd onward. But the top 2, 1 point is the 64 versus the 24. And for race number 4 of the inaugural season for the OTSS Select Series. And this race, by the way, before we hit the qualifying, it is presented by a team who shouted out, or called it out and was like, you know what, we want to sponsor a race. So Texas Motorsports is going to be the race tonight for the Lone Star 180 presented by Texas, and that's how we're going to call that race here tonight. So appreciate you guys for being the first race sponsor of the 2026 season.
Yeah, and obviously you see the 2 drivers from Texas Motorsports. You have Charlie Bass, Nolan Todd. Nolan I've been doing some solid work recently in the sim. Same with Charlie Bass. I know that their team has been off to a little bit of a rough start so far here this season, but you see one of them go through turns 1 and 2. Obviously, always good to see natives. I know one of them is a Texas native, so obviously hence Texas, Motorsports, you're at Texas Motor Speedway. What a more fitting sponsor than to sponsor the Lone Star 180 here tonight. Uh, and Jeremy, Texas Motor Speedway, this track, as qualifying is getting ready to start up here, this is a really interesting mile and a half. Remember, post 2016, they repaved it for 2017. This is known as quote unquote the worst track in NASCAR. I would say that, but I also do have a soft spot for it. I like the way it drives when you have fresh tires, and that you could just rip through 3 and 4, and you got to be really, really on your toes going through 1 and 2. Draft plays a huge factor with these trucks. The aerodynamics for this track that affect the trucks are absolutely just stupid when it comes to it. One slight move up from the truck in front of you dumps all that dirty air right under your left front and really disturbs the truck on behind you. So I think tonight's race is probably going to be a game of clean air and who can really hold their momentum, especially down in 1 and 2.
Good insight there, Mr. Jason. And it is qualifying time. We're going to get our cameras off the screen and go full screen here with some of the fastest drivers in that practice session. Danny White on your screen now, driver the 64. P1 in practice, one of 2 drivers to hit the 29.8 second bracket. And here he is on his first lap. And this corner, that restyled turn 2 where it goes so flat, so wide, it makes it interesting on cold tires because, flat corners, high speeds, that truck can get really upset in a hurry. Plus the wind kicking over in double digits at 11 miles an hour in the practice session. But it seems like it's a pretty solid first lap for the driver of the 64.
Yeah, in turn 1, you see right here as Danny dives it down to the corner, you really got to hit your marks perfectly. Let the car kind of coast down to the corner. Once you get to the center, gradually get back to the gas and rip it off turn 2. But you don't want to get too high because all of a sudden that track really gets wide down the back straightaway. 3 and 4, still the same old Classic Motor Speedway practically from pre-2017. Danny's going to come to the line this time by, holds it down a little bit low, and he'll stay right there in P8. No, he'll jump up to second with a 30.319. So, Jeremy, this is obviously, you just mentioned it. We talked about it. This track is really interesting compared to the other mile-and-a-half D-shaped ovals like we, have gone to in the past, like, Las Vegas, Charlotte, Kansas, anything like that. Turns 1 and 2, you got a 20-degree turn that's a lot more flat than 3 and 4 here. You see Curtis Noble on the Caffeine Team Drivers Cams presented by Brez Coffee Co. Currently just getting ready to rumble here tonight in Texas. But, back to the turns, Jeremy. 1 and 2, a lot flatter than 3 and 4. We've seen a lot, me and you calling races now over the past couple of years. A lot of guys on these starts and restarts on those cold tires, they tend to get really loose coming off too, and we typically tend to see these wrecks happen going through 1 and 2 on the initial starts of these races.
Yep, and the trucks are more prone to that because there's no weight to the rear end of these things. And cold tires and on these restarts going to be kind of crucial to if you want to hold that position that you restarted or at least try to advance, depending on where you're at in the field as we're continuing to cycle through the field here with just under 2 minutes left in this qualifying session. This is driver number 2, Steven Abased, on the backstretch for his second lap. A little dip down to the middle of the straightaway. Usually don't see that as he runs the bottom white line. Very Texas line like in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, you might see a little second to third groove action, but on the bottom of 3 and 4 is the way to go. Across the line, Steven 30.324, which puts him just shy of Danny White, who did not have as good qualifying effort compared to practice times. And right now, Jonathan Hammond, he raced that. Abram Ghostin just jumps P1, 30.050 for the driver, the number 25. 1 minute left in the session, and now we're on board with Keith Vaughn, driver the number 23.
Yeah, and you see him right here ripping around 3 and 4. You can really hold that outside lane coming to the start of your lap. You don't really get too tight. You don't really get too loose. It's kind of just hold that pretty wheel straight, and you'll be just fine as he comes across the line. Not going to come all the way out to the wall. Dives it into 1 and 2. Can't exactly at the bottom. He's kind of watching up here off the corner. Going to have to lift out of the throttle, I believe, just a slight bit there. And then down the back straightaway, pretty straightforward, quite literally. And then down into 3 and 4, you're going to want to kind of hold it down low, but not completely to that line. He nearly gets there, just kind of a late hit to the apex and off the corner. Obviously, don't come all the way out to the wall. Hold it down middle to low, but he'll come to the line currently in, I believe, outside the top 10. Yeah, he'll be currently scored 20th here as qualifying is getting ready to wrap up here in less than 10 seconds. And Jeremy, looks like Abram Ghosted. Talk about a shock for us up here in the booth. Going to take the pole over Jonathan Hammond by only a few hundredths of a second.
Yeah, Abram Ghosted, driver for Old Dogs Racing in that Ford F-150 P1, and Jonathan Hammond from Infield Legends Motorsports taking that second spot. There is these drivers are resetting. They're gonna get their racing setups in. They're gonna join the grid, and we're gonna review that qualifying through the 25 entries here tonight. And this race, one more time, is presented by Texas Motor Sports for the Lone Star 180 at Texas Motor Speedway. Here we go. Starting grid. P1 Abram Ghost and a Jonathan Hammond P2. P3 is Nolan Todd. EJ Luna sits in fourth. Fifth place is going to be Curtis Noble, the 88, and to his outside in P6. DJ Honeycutt, row 4. Charlie Bass there in the 94 to the outside in position number 8. Jonathan Gaston in the 72, row 5. P9 Tyler Honeycutt in 10th place. John Border.
Row number 6, you have P11, you have Alejandro Khan and Brad Miner in the number 46 there in P12. Row 7, you'll find Corey Jones in the number 63 alongside Danny White, your points leader. Row number 8, you'll find Steven Abbassett and Paulie Torrance in the 16th spot. Row number 9, you'll find Dustin Franklin alongside Bobby Mantle in the number 89. And then, Jeremy, rounding out row number 10, you'll find Alex Zirkle and Keith Vaughn in the 23.
P21 is Dave Harrington to his outside in 22nd. Mark Sherwood in the 44. P23, Donnie Honeycutt in the 22. Chris Harrington starts in 24th in truck 77. And the last driver, James Robbins in truck 76 is your 25 truck field here tonight. And we're going to shout out our series sponsor, Empower Ed, here during this warm-up lap. Empower Ed Research Institute is a nonprofit organization committed to advancing education in communities through research, innovation, and collaboration. Through its research programs and services, Empower Ed Research Institute strives to harness the power of education to uplift individuals, foster community engagement, and effect positive change. Empower Ed Research Institute invites educators, researchers, policymakers, community leaders, and individuals passionate about education to join us on our mission. Together, we can make a meaningful difference in our lives of learners and communities. Visit empoweredresearch.org for more information. As these trucks start to grid up here, one pace lap. We're going to go 120 laps for this 180-mile event, nighttime style in Texas.
Couple things to note, Jeremy, coming in tonight, had a few penalties after Pocono just 1 week ago. John Border in the number 7, 10-point penalty for no windshield banner. James Robbins has an EOL for a lane change. Alejandro Khan in the 47 has an EOL for lane change. Brad Berry has probation for 2 weeks after an accident caused. Mark Sherwood, same thing for him as well. Dustin Franklin will serve a drive-through at the start of the race. And Garrett Spriggs will serve EOL and also be on probation for 2 weeks after some comments and also causing an accident just 1 week ago. So something to keep an eye on here as we get ready to tango with Texas Motor Speedway here tonight.
The admins at OTSS want to make sure this league is perfect, and to do that, you gotta have to set the standard on the first season, that they're doing it and doing it the right way. Pace truck down, green flag out. Race number 4, Lone Star 180 presented by Texas Motorsports, is underway, and a great start there from the number 25 Abram Ghost and 2 truck length advantage as EJ Luna looks to the outside of second place here as they're going to scatter across turn 1, turn 2. Let's see how many drivers single file down the back straightaway here. Looks like top 5, top 6 will do that. Still 2, maybe even 3 wide down the back.
Yeah, and Jeremy, this race is going to get really spread out really fast. That's usually how Texas Motor Speedway kind of plays out here as they rip through 3 and 4. You'll see a couple guys going 2 wide, and that is pretty much the fastest part, it feels like, as a driver in the sim. When you go through 3 and 4, man, you are hauling the mail down into turns 3, and then you are just saving it and holding on for dear life when you're side by side with somebody going through turn 3. Couple guys, though, getting loose here coming off turn 2 as these tires start settling. We got a crash. There goes the number 2, Steven Abbassett, in the wall right in front of Mark Sherwood. Saw a couple other trucks there behind them. get involved as well, scatter down to the apron of the racetrack. And you see some other drivers there. There's the 47 of Alejandro Khan. I believe Dave Harrington was also involved. But Jeremy, already, just like we talked about, off turn 2, these tires still coming up to temperature. Already an incident here just 2 laps in.
These are 2 isolated incidences that happened at the same exact time. We're going to look at the second wreck. Alejandro Khan going to just swipe the 70 or 66 of Harrington, and they both are going to slam the infield wall right here. Just heavy impact to the nose of the 47, direct side slap for the 66. And this is not the way we want to start the race here. That was your first wreck, and that was just the 47 washing up into Dave Harrington. And then the second wreck, which happens with the number 2, as he is just going to side swipe. Actually, there might be a little drive down. No, Abbasid just didn't recognize that Sherwood had such a great run on corner exit. Steven hits at the outside wall of his nose. Not too much damage to the number 2, but 2 wrecks to start off lap number 2.
And I tell you what, Jeremy, I think that Mark Sherwood's definitely going to try to defend himself if the officials, like they have now the last 3 weeks, as we are on race 4 this week, Mark obviously got placed on probation after last week for an accident, and just already 2 laps involved in another accident. But you could see right there, clear as day from us up here in the booth, Mark held his line coming at it too. Just an unfortunate miscommunication, probably on the spotter's end from iRacing or just in general. The 8 just coming, or rather the 2 of Steven Abbasid there, just coming up right in front of the 44. Thought he was clear, didn't think the 44 had the run, but that's a product of Texas Motor Speedway. Surprised that nobody was really getting loose, but obviously, like you said, Jeremy, 2 separate incidents there coming out of turn 2 on lap 2. Wow, a lot of 2s so far here tonight.
2 and 2 with the 25 up front, and these guys are, well, our producer had something to say in my ear there. What were you gonna say? Oh, okay. All right. I thought he had something to comment on, but yeah, I was gonna make a mention too that the YouTube side, for the ones who are watching on YouTube, which is about 98% of our viewership so far to start the season, everybody and then summer is rooting for Infield Legends. That's a team that's got 3 total drivers here. And I want to make sure I read these off right. Steven Abbasid in that 2 truck, Alejandro Khan in the 47, and Jonathan Hammond in the 92. So 2 of their 3 involved in these early wrecks. So not a great start for that team whatsoever, but plenty of time to recover there. The 2's just fine. The 47, however, might have a little work on pit road to get that truck up and running, as we got the 1 lap to go signal. I'm going to shout out another one of our partners here. Jumping on this year for Nerd TV is going to be Chevy Land. Chevy Land's hitting the ground running this year with the Silverado sell-off. Receive up to $9,000 off MSRP from your Silverado headquarters on select new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500s. Shop the area's best Silverado inventory with over 120 Silverado models to choose from. Hurry in soon because the Silverado sell-off won't last long. Start your year in high gear with the Silverado sell-off happening now at Chevyland, your Silverado headquarters. Visit Chevyland.com for more information or a full listing of models in stock. Here we go. 1 Ford, 1 Chevy up at the front. Half a lap left. Jason, lap 6. Go and take us back for the second green flag drop tonight.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this restart's going to be, because everybody kind of got the gist of how these starts/restarts are going to work here tonight. Abram Ghostin, he got a really good start there in that old dog's Ford F-150. I think he's probably going to have the same type of restart, but EJ Luna, one of the best in the business here in this league. He's got the best average finish this season with Danny White with a 3.0. He knows how to get it done, and we're familiar to seeing him go to victory lane here at Texas. I expect him to be hot on the heels of this 25 here on the restart.
2 old dogs racing drivers inside that top 10. Green flag is out. Here we go. The 25 with a nice, decent start. Once more, 2 car links over. Jonathan Hammond here. EJ Luna this time looks to the inside. Going to try to make a quick pass momentarily. Goes 3 wide. The 45 was looking. He drops back there. That was the 15. EJ Luna hugs the center lane. Everybody else washes up to the top. 3 wide. Both drivers from Texas Motorsports there. Going 3 wide with the 88 Curtis Noble, or caffeine coffee member there, and I a little stuttered up there. I thought they're going to make some contact, little team-on-team action 3 wide, sending out there like F1 McLarens.
Yeah, definitely don't want to pull an F1 McLaren team right there. It could have been really close going through 3 and 4. Everybody kind of starting to settle in, though. We ride on board the Caffeine Team Drivers Cams presented by Brez Coffee Co. Here, Curtis Noble down on the inside of the 99 of Nolan Todd. He'll kind of push him up just a little bit, dive down to the apex. He'll get the run through 3 and 4, should easily clear this 99 off turn 4, but he doesn't. Hangs in there on the door. They'll still be side by side to the line. Now going into turn 1 this time is Charlie Bass that time around. Sets the fastest lap of the race so far with a 29.959.
2 laps into this restart here. Great action, not just for first and second or third, but also in the back. You see lots of 2 wide still trying to sort themselves out here as we're looking at the 46 minor on the inside of a 2 wide pass here. The 6, Mr. Polly Torrance, trying to hang on, but that outside lane in turn 4 is so difficult to maintain the momentum. And it looks like he's going to get the turn number 1 and 2 still right at the right rear quarter panel. This is where it's a little easier to hang tight and even make a pass. Strong run from Polly. And he's going to be able to pass the 46 a minor. Strong move on the outside.
Notice, Jeremy, how a lot of those guys up in front of this little pack, everybody has gotten single file. That's how a lot of this race is going to be. It's going to be all about saving that right front tire and not sliding it through 1 and 2, and surely not sliding it through 3 and 4. Abram Ghostin, though, so far here after the restart post is about half a second in front of Jonathan Hammond. Pretty surprising top 2, Jeremy. I'd say if you talked to me before, during this morning, prior to the race, I would not have guessed these 2 guys to be out front. I mean, you have Old Dogs, and then you have Infield Legends so far doing great. I know Infield Legends off to a little bit of a rough start here tonight with the other 2 drivers, but Jonathan Hammond definitely showing up, and he is here to play at Texas. But again, do not count out EJ Luna. He has been probably the fastest, if not, one of the fastest drivers so far this season. If you don't count Danny White, I expect him to make a charge for the lead here sometime within the next handful of laps.
Got the 94 there, passing the 72. As they're going to complete lap number 11 on the words lap number 12 here. Most drivers are now single filed out after 5 laps of continual green flag racing here. Abram Ghostin's lead still has about 5 truck lengths over Jonathan Hammond 92. There's the 64 Danny White, as you got some racing still going around him. Mid-pack here as Danny's holding P11 at the moment. The 63 Corey Jones right behind him. He falls not 1 but 2 spots as he gets passed by John Border in truck 7.
Yeah, lots of battles going on throughout the whole field, but again, everybody's starting to kind of spread out right now. First to 10 separated by 4.25 seconds. I know it hasn't really been like that the last few weeks. Everything's been really tight, compact, but that's just how Texas gets. This race, Jeremy, is usually a fuel mileage race. I know we've seen it in real life and also on the sim for the leagues that we've called. You have some battles here and there. I do expect this race to get a little bit crazy towards the end. That's usually how the truck races are. But from what I've seen so far, those first, or rather the first start and then the restart that we've had here tonight, it's going to be really tough to beat the leader on the restarts. I mean, Abram Ghostin, he has gotten out to about a 4, 5, even a 6, truck length lead from the initial start to the restart. So if you want to beat the leader on a short run restart that's in the late stages of this race, you're really going to have to be on it here if you want to try to win this race and beat the leader.
100% here. This track can eat up tires over the long haul, but it is newer asphalt, and you can run a little bit harder for just a little bit longer here. Plus, you have some lane choice in the first part of the lap in turn 1 and turn 2. But you'll see some fall off here as you see the 25 already starting to do such. Here's some gaps mid-pack here as we go to the third pack, if you will. As you got some decent racing back here behind around 15th or such. And looks like that's going to go almost completely single file off corner exit here at the moment. Door opens. That's the 7 truck, or 63 rather. Corey Jones continues to fall back. He started 13th and made his way up to 10th. And then he's dropped all the way back to 17th. So that's a quick up and down there early on for Corey Jones.
Yeah, and this is probably the best battle on the racetrack. Let's see if we can take a look here at the track map just to see, after a handful of laps, to see how spread out these drivers have got. Everybody on the racetrack is only separated by up to 13 seconds. Last on the track, I believe, is Dave Harrington, who is 1 lap down there, all the way in the back, or I believe that could be somebody else. But you can see about half the track is covered. Everybody's going to get more and more spread out as this race progresses. But this is by far the best battle on the racetrack we've had. We nearly have about a 3-wide battle going on right here between Keith Vaughn, Bobby Mantle, and Alex Zirkle, I believe, in that number 8 right behind them. Thought about making a 3-wide look to the inside off turn number 2. He'll stay in line, but for the time being, it's Bobby Mantle versus Keith Vaughn as they try to run down Brad Miner in that 46 as they rip into 1.
Vaughn still putting on a good show for the virtual fans out here at Texas Motor Speedway. Lap number 18 halfway completed. Headed off into turn number 3 here. These trucks momentarily going to hold single file as the 46 Bradley Miner and P13 is going to lead the charge for this third pack in the field here. As we're cycling out of the race leader, who's been a little bit more under fire, Abram Ghostin, leading all 18 laps so far of the scheduled 120. He's got the 92 of Jonathan Hammond from Infield Legends. He's putting on a lot of pressure. And then DJ Honeycutt, top 5 in points all season long here, just hanging back from Ghost Motorsports. And he's got a great view of maybe when Jonathan wants to make the pass effort, it'll open the door for DJ. He might do a little 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, for sure. DJ's definitely been a little bit more quiet this year. Obviously, he finished very well at the Milwaukee Mile, I believe, just a handful of weeks ago. Currently 7th in points, but obviously not by much. The top, 10 in points only separated in total the race leader by only 36 points. And now he looks to the inside of Hammond here through 3 and 4, back down the front straightaway, looking to get a nice run in that Ghost Motorsports number 15 Toyota Tundra machine down to the inside. And it looks like he might be able to clear him here coming off turn 2. Easily should. And DJ Honeycutt might be one of these longer run type trucks. But Jonathan Hammond, Jeremy, he's going to answer right back with a nice run off too. And he'll look to the inside now. And this is everything that Abram Ghostin wants to see in his rearview mirror.
What a setup from Jonathan Hammond to go really wide into turn 1, give up the spot, and then pull the slingshot off of turn 2, utilizing that momentum and that grip lane up there to really just put him back in where he was momentarily. But then you see turn 1 and turn 2 is going to favor the 15. DJ runs to the second groove, recognizes the situation, plays it well. Now he's going to solely own position number 2 coming up to complete lap number 22. Abram Ghostin still leading the charge. And I got some YouTube comments, man. You guys are lighting it up. I'm already having to scroll over here. Continuing the Infield Legends chant. I got, was that Nico Batistas saying if the Infield Legends doesn't win, I'm punching my dog. That's not my dog,
What?
That's his dog. So I mean, as much as we're not going to condone that, it just speaks to the confidence these guys have in Infield Legends, which is Jonathan Hammond, 92. So no pressure, Jonathan.
Yeah, obviously, too, the Infield Legends right now, for the time being, they have Jonathan Hammond right there in that top 3. Still a tough night for them for the time being. And another team, though, that's having a strong run here, especially at their sponsored races, Texas Motor Speedway. Currently 6th and 7th, Charlie Bass and Nolan Todd. They've been running together, Jeremy, like they're almost, running for Dennett Racing, like they're, like they're Jean Girard, Cal Naughton Jr., or Ricky Bobby all together. Except these guys aren't rivals. These guys are buddies. So far, strong night for them. Charlie has gained a spot from where he started. My apologies. Jonathan Gaston. Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at the wrong stats. My bad. Nolan Todd. He's lost 5 spots from where he started. But a little bit of contact there for the number 99 of Nolan Todd. Got squeezed by the 88 of Curtis Noble. And if I'm Nolan Todd, Jeremy, I am not too happy about that. I want to see if maybe we can get a replay here for us from Dustin, but that was not pretty, and I think the 88 thought he was clear.
Yeah, Dustin Loxton, our wonderful producer and graphics guy here for Nerd TV, I don't shout that guy out enough when he's not on camera, but I'm sure he's got the stat for you. He's digging. There he is. He's got the shovel out. And we're going to take one lap back, and we're going to go through 3 and 4, 1 and 2. Then I couldn't tell if Curtis thought maybe he was cleared and then recognized he wasn't, because it looks like he gave him a little tail slap midway down the back straightaway, recognized it, pulled back down the track. Still got the pass completed, and we're going to see it here as we complete turn 2. And let's just see, because you get the great run from the 99, so you might not have expected him to be in there. He gets there, and, well, yeah, I don't know.
That's so
He
awkward.
had time, yeah, he had time to see Charlie up top, or Nolan rather, but that was interesting. I'm glad there was no wreck out of that one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, right there, it just looked like the 88. He kind of slid. The 99 knew he was sliding, went to the outside clearly, like any other normal driver would do when you see a driver kind of out of control. That's just, your basic human instinct is to go to the opposite way of danger. And the 88 just kind of came right back up. He saved it, and then I think just came back up thinking maybe he was going to be clear. Maybe he did tail him, a little bit, still trying to gather up the truck. But, I mean, from my experience in these trucks, usually would have had it saved right about there. I think he was just trying to get back up the racetrack, get back in line. So, racing incident, no harm, no foul between those two. But again, Texas Motorsports having a great night so far inside the top 10 with Charlie and Nolan both running in 6th and 9th.
Quick update here on the race. Alejandro Khan looks like he's parked for the evening. Dave Harrington 10 laps down. Finally pulling off pit road after that lap 2 incident. And
we got a yellow.
Caution. Speaking of incident.
Oh, no!
On lap 29, and Curtis Noble just demolished a couple other drivers. We're going to have to take a couple looks at this. I did not see exactly what happened. Reviewing some of the other parts of the track. Oh no, little 3 wide.
Lag. Oh, boy.
Is going on.
Yeah, blinked out.
That's definitely some lag multiple times. They were squeezed 3 wide. Yeah, the 94 just. There we go. I'm getting rid of Charlie.
Oh my goodness! Look at the 88 there, up into the fence. Hard hit.
Yeah, Charlie Bass came on the radio and said that his computer just completely froze up. Had no idea what he was going. You see the brake check there in the corner.
Oh
Curtis,
my
no idea. Up into the catch fence. Man, Tyler Honeycutt's going to slide it through. And then Paulie Torrance gets involved a little bit late in the going on that one.
There's about 2 views I want to see from that. One, the the truck that was passing Paulie Torrance there. That was an amazing heads-up job by the driver behind Paulie to save it, and that looks like it's what's that last name right there? Is that John Border? Need to see that view because that was so close, and especially from the number 99 of Nolan Todd, because Nolan was trying to gather back up. I don't know if he brushed the wall. You see him right there up ahead, but I believe he was able to save it. Look at this right here. 1 truck, 2 trucks. I don't even think he touches him. He might just barely. I don't even think he touched him. I think he just, if not, barely grazed him right there on the right front. Maybe? But what a job right there. Here's a better look at it, Jeremy. You see all, and here we go. Yep, here's the boozy, jerky, tipsy cam from Dustin. Knows what I want. That's right, Dustin. You show me what I want. And here's a look at the right rear, or rather a view from the right rear facing the right front of the truck. Trucks are sliding down. And again, folks, like at home, whenever you're at a track with banking, whatever goes up must come down. And maybe... No, didn't even touch him. Oh, my goodness. I'm through it, Harry type moment. Great job right there from John Border in the number 7 machine. I want to see if we could get a look here at Nolan Todd and that number 99 maybe, if we can, Dustin, too, because that 99 was wicked loose, out of control, barely had it saved, but he was able to save it there, Jeremy, coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, that was fantastic heads up from the 7 there. Just, we have, there's Nolan Todd's just I was wondering how close he got. No, he didn't even touch the wall.
He didn't even touch the wall.
That
That's
is
awesome.
even more
That's sick.
impressive to whip. You know, to be able to turn the wheel to the wall and then still miss it at over 100 miles an hour is really impressive stuff. And Nolan did a fantastic job keeping it from the wall. Probably not even a foot away from doing such. And now we got them all stacked up too wide, resuming this race on lap 33. Abram Ghostin still going to lead the way, leading all 32 laps so far here this evening. Everyone's got freshies on, full tank of Sunoco fuel from the virtual side. And one more time, replay from Nolan Todd driving the 99, watching his life flash before his eyes, whipping it to the wall. You see how quick he moved it back to the left.
That's crazy.
That's your best hands reward, probably, I would say, easily so far in 2026. But here we go. Pace truck down. Throttles at the ready. For the third time tonight, we are flying the green flag in the air. Green flag, green, green, green. Here we go, back racing.
And Jeremy, too, these drivers, they just pitted. So remember that lap 2 incident we had at the start of the race. What will we see this time around? Now that these guys have had some laps on the track, 33 laps in, lap 30 just a couple laps ago, they did pit. Already some shuffling throughout the field on the leaderboard from our end. Everybody all over the place. One truck in the wall. That's a 23, Keith Vaughn in the Coors Light Chevy Silverado. 3 wide, though, for some other guys in the back. That's the 22, Donnie Honeycutt, along with James Robbins and John Border, who gets passed by Paulie Torrance there in the 6 as they come back to the line.
Yeah, almost some contact early entry turn 3. Glad Donnie was able to not have any. As he got, the 92, Jonathan Hammond gets really loose there. He's going to allow EJ Luna to quickly pass him off at turn 2. Caution.
Oh, yeah,
caution,
big
caution
crash
for
again.
The third time on lap 34. And this is going to entail at least the 94 of Charlie Bass. And I think him and the number 2 of Steven Abbas is both going to be involved in this one.
Yeah, take a look right here. Oh, yep. Jeremy, what did I tell you? Cold tires plagues again. It looks like just not the temp. These new tires, such a struggle for these drivers. Coming out of turn 2, this is just a troublesome spot. And you know, too, it's not even just with the trucks, Jeremy. It's with anything. The O'Reilly cars, the Cup car. That's going to be a while to get used to, saying O'Reilly instead of Xfinity anymore. I keep forgetting about that. Anyways, but, you know, any car you race here at Texas when it comes to a heavy stock car like these ones, going through 1 and 2 in real life and on the sim, especially in real life, they get so loose with these new tires. There's just no grip once you hit the apex and coming off too. We've seen so many wrecks over the past 9 or so years now with this configuration. And when you're on cold tires and they're still getting up to optimal temp, it's just really, really difficult, obviously, for these guys to grip up. And unfortunately, that's what that product was there for that caution off turn number 2 that time.
100% there, and waiting for see who comes out pit road here. Don't expect many drivers, if at all. The number 2, Steven Abbaset's come over the radio and said, I'm going to claim that caution, so he will go EOL just to be on the safe side. Even though I thought Charlie had a big checkup for getting loose, Steven's going to play the safe card and take the EOL. There's the 2 truck. There's the checkup. Right? Yeah, there's the looseness. There's the checkup. Nothing the 2, I guess he might have had enough time. I don't know, but he's going to take it anyways. There as he sends the 94 into the infield, bringing out the 3rd caution this evening. Lap and a half left before we go back to green flag. Shout out one of our partners here. We see him flying the camera, but we don't never talk about him. Boozy Jerky, the official snack partner for the Nerditudes. It's original booze-infused jerky. Boozy Jerky brings amazing booze flavor to the cuts of jerky meats that are oh so tender. At least for the mango pineapple one. That one's my favorite personally. But I know we all got our own picks. But either way, they're packed with protein and a great flavor. Perfect snack on the go, being a smaller package. You get just enough to satisfy those taste buds. And you're going to go to boozyjerky.com. Get yours today with that promotion code Nerditudes on the website. It should save you 10% there at boozyjerky.com.
Looking forward to this restart right here, Jeremy, again. But this time you got a different player there up in that second spot. It's going to be DJ Honeycutt. Uh, we've been seeing him so far throughout the night really climb through, further up into the top 5. He was 4 spots back at the start of the race. Now he finds himself in P2. I know the outside doesn't really have a great opportunity at taking the lead here on the restarts, but if there's anybody I feel like who can do it, it's DJ Honeycutt. I mean, we've seen him really be a wheelman so far this season, especially back at the Milwaukee Mile. Just so strong. And another driver I want to shout out too, Bobby Mantle, that number 89 machine, up 13 spots from where he started, currently in that 6th spot. Doing a great job there in that Can-Am Chevrolet Silverado on the outside. And don't look now, but look who's slowly creeping up behind him too, Jeremy. That's the 64, Danny White. Started a little bit further back than where he probably wanted to. Fastest man in practice, but had a poor qualifying effort. He slowly but surely is making his way up inside the top 5. Expect him, DJ Honeycutt, and EJ Luna to probably be the ones fighting for the win here at the end. And don't forget Abram Ghostin, who has dominated this race so far here tonight.
Leading all 37 laps run here tonight. Got the medium-sized run. We had a couple of short runs, and Abrams, the man in charge here. Who's going to be the first one to take him down? Will it be the 15 at DJ Honeycutt, starting in 2nd place? Does EJ match the restart here of the Old Dogs Racing driver and maybe get Lone Star their first lap led here this evening? Pace truck down for the 4th time tonight. We're going to fly the green flag. Green is back underway to green flag racing. The 25, not the start that he has been getting, but it's a decent enough to clear the 15. 24 is going to have to quickly battle Jeffrey, which he does, or Jonathan rather, sorry. They go quick single file top 5. 6th place, you got Bob Mantle on the top here, looking to try to clear as he get to turn 3.
And I think that was about the first time all night, Jeremy, we've seen anybody be able to somewhat challenge the leader on the restart. DJ Honeycutt was with him up until about the exit of turn 1 into 2, as everybody scatters around down the front straightaway heading into 1. But DJ Honeycutt, definitely the best restart, I think, out of anybody besides the leader who has been able to challenge them so far here tonight. But battles throughout the field so far. You got the 23, Keith Vaughn. Oh, and up and into the wall. That is the number 99, I believe, of Nolan Todd. And it was. He'll start to drop back a little bit, get passed there by the 22 of Donnie Honeycutt. And man, Jeremy, I don't want to be that guy, but I want to say that announcer's curse is very well much a thing, because Texas Motorsports were running so well earlier, and obviously their night is slowly starting to fall apart here late in the going.
You know, a lot of these drivers like to run the broadcast on their secondary screen if they got it. So, if they see their stuff on screen, they might double think some things and maybe cause a little hiccup. So that's probably why the broadcaster curse might be a thing. And I got a couple shout-outs for us up here in the booth. Shout out to the crew in the booth. That's from Nico Batistas. And then Twisted Drifter saying, new race control here. Loving the broadcast on the side. Great job, guys. Polly, watch out. You got Nolan Todd to the outside. These guys are breathing on each other. Now
3 wide.
3 wide into turn 3 here with Dustin Franklin, driver of the 74. Where is he coming from here? 17th, trying to move himself up to 10th. Gets the 6th cleared momentarily. Paulie back to the outside with a little bit of side draft.
And Dustin Franklin would like to make quick work here of these guys throughout the field, because remember at the beginning of the race, he had a drive-through start for an accident that was caused by him last week at Pocono, and he's looking to rebound after a tough night 1 week ago. But so are a lot of drivers. Everybody, though, is kind of starting to simmer down. We have some guys taking some jabs at one another as I say that. The 8 of Alex Zirkle nearly got to the back of the 74 there into 3. Really shot it down in there. But obviously everybody having their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to the entries and exits of these turns. Another battle right behind them. Donnie Honeycutt starting to drop spots. He's side by side with Tyler Honeycutt, who, Jeremy, I don't even think we've talked about all night long.
No. He had that one spin out there in turn 3. Outside of that, we've only mentioned his name through the grid. And so Tyler Honeycutt is just quietly sitting back here, 3rd in points. not having the start of this or of the race that he was hoping to have, and never count him out though. He's always going to be there toward the end. He's just got to figure it out, maybe make some setup tweaks when he does find pit road, and he'll be there. But we got a little passing right now with the 6 and the 74 still doing battle. This battle's been going on for 3 to 4 laps concurrently. Outside, Dustin Franklin's going to have a good launch effort off of turn 4. Not the easiest job in the world here at Texas, but able to maintain. This is where we've seen some great passing, is running in a second and third groove off of 1 and 2. I expect the 74 of Franklin to clear Pauly if he can. No, Pauly's going to have a great run on the inside as we get the boozy tipsy cam flying once more down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and these guys are getting really tight through 3 and 4. This is where you really got to be careful. We always talk about 1 and 2, but don't underestimate 3 and 4 because a lot of these guys typically tend to send it in because they think they have grip. That's why late in the going of these stages for these races at Texas, you'll see guys start to really fade away, and you see Donnie Honeycutt right there really send it down in on Tyler. Nearly made contact with the left rear, but that's exactly what I mean, Jeremy, is that these guys all have different entry and exit points to their driving style. Just like Donnie Honeycutt, you see him send it in so far on the outside. Look at this, a massive run that he's got on the outside. He's able to clear Tyler, and now he'll try to run down that number 6 of Pauly Torrance, and he'll make it running him to the bottom in a 1.
Man, Bradley minor 46 got really loose and really checked up the inside lane there in turn 3, and it backed up his teammate Tyler Honeycutt, who now goes to the outside and passes him as we're still flying the boozy over a lap plus, as we got the camera going 150 plus miles an hour in reverse, looking over Donnie Honeycutt now. There's Alex Zirkle, truck number 8, currently battling just outside the top 10, as now we got it facing forward as our cameraman slash producer slash professional drone flyer Dustin Longston himself showing off these skills in the air.
Yeah, I love the drone work by Dustin week in and week out. Doesn't matter what race it is, what cars, and look at this battle still going on. Donnie is just sending it into 3 and even into 1. I'm really surprised at the entry speed that he has, but he also might not be saving his tires as much. But regardless, his entry speed is crazy. Let's take a look right here from the onboard of Pauly Torrance. I want to see just the entry speed to Donnie Honeycutt here into 3. Watch him send it in to turn 3. Watch this truck just flies. It's just hooked up like he's on rails here from a Lionel Racing train going through 3 and 4. Man, this truck, don't count out Donnie, man. He is not somebody to show a lot of speed in the early portions of races that we've seen so far here this season, Jeremy, but when it comes to the late stages, man, he's got some speed.
Yeah, give him a few more cautions, he might be up there. Started 23rd, has moved his way up to 11th, so has doubled essentially his starting spot to current position on track, just 50 laps into this 120 lap event. We're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We will be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Full screen here, lap 61 underway as Abram Gosen continuing to lead every single lap in this race as we are at the official halfway mark in tonight's Lone Star 180 presented by Texas Motor Sports. The drivers of the 94 and 99 here this evening, half their drivers are from Texas, half their drivers are from Arizona. So that's how they came up with Texas, and Texas being one of the home tracks here for the team. Not having a start that they wanted. Nolan Todd's recovered to P8 at the moment. You see him right there on your screen looking underneath the 89 there, Bobby Mantle, as Charlie Bass holding down 21st right now on the grid, and he's still on the lead lap. He's 17.3 seconds back of the race leader, which is about a 2/3 back on the track. So about another 10 seconds so you'll find the race leader at that point. But there's your official team roster for Texas. Jason, you made a comment during the middle of that commercial cycle that you thought you were watching the All-Star race at Charlotte because that racing was so good for 10 laps plus.
Yeah, it reminded me of the 2018 Charlotte All-Star race for the Cup Series back when they were teasing the 550 high downforce package. I hope we never do that again, and I'm so glad that we're getting more horsepower this year at the tracks that actually deserve it. Anyways, sorry. But, yeah, it definitely did. That's the thing about Texas is as strong as it can be. When you get trucks that start to really fade out, trucks that really start to get, well, in the later portions of these runs, you get these little packs, and they almost become, somewhat like the new Atlanta, just not to the extent of the new Atlanta, obviously, but these guys, they were really racing hard. You saw the guys starting to fade away. I mean, Donnie Honeycutt has really faded away. We were talking about how strong he was in this run, and now he has lost a significant amount of spots. He's just shy of falling out of the top 15 here. Currently in P15, battling with James Robbins in the 76, go to the inside now. I know when we run to break two, EJ Luna, he's moved up to the second spot. And DJ Honeycutt, the one guy we thought who might be able to make a run at Abram Ghostin for the lead, he's fallen 2 spots, and Jonathan Hammond has moved back up inside the top 3. So leaders have kind of gotten strung out. But, Jeremy, we do have those elusive green flag pit stops looming in the distance. Fuel run here is about 35 to 45 laps. So, I mean, you're looking at pit stops probably, I'd say, around lap 70 to 85 probably, somewhere in that window. And that should carry these guys all the way to the checkered, possibly, depending on cautions.
Yeah, we have a pit stop report graphic this year. We can pull that up and take a look so you can do math on screen. There you go. They are currently 36 laps with a fuel tank, or last time the fuel was filled up in the tank. So 36 laps right now. We got 54 to go. So if they can meet that in the middle, this would indeed be their last stop. So we'll have to see. We'll check in back on the next 10 or 15 laps and see how close they can get to that mark to where they can just make it. And there's our patch-up report, by the way. We've had some wrecks, and 4 drivers currently have suffered some type of damage. Tyler Honeycutt, just a breezy 3 seconds from his spin out there early on. Charlie Bass, one of the drivers that are sponsoring tonight's event, 1 minute 17 seconds. Stephen Abbassad, 2:26, and Dave Harrington with the most at 6:18.
One truck in the
Bobby
wall.
Mantle's going to need some on that patch-up report. He will find it on his next pit stop because, man, he hit the wall a ton.
Yeah, heads up to Danny White and Jonathan Gaston to not run into the back of Mantle because, man, that was a hard hit, square on practically with that right side into the outside wall off two. Everybody able to save it, though, and Tyler Honeycutt slowly starting to make his way up through them now. As you see Danny White finally getting towards that top 5 that he's been creeping along, getting towards all night long. But Bobby Mantle, though, man, despite just hitting the wall there, man, talked about it earlier, Jeremy, this guy has been on a mission tonight in that 89.
Yeah, doing a pretty decent job there behind the wheel. Currently holds 5th place, started 18th, so he's up 13 spots from the start of this race. And if he catch another caution or 2, be on the same playing field with these leaders, we might have a new contender up here. We talked about the 22 being in that. He's kind of stuck back there. And so, Paulie Torrance in the back almost took a swipe at the 22. That would have been huge off the corner exit turn 2. As you're still, there you go. We're going to cycle to the number 6. Paulie, Jason, has just been finding all the action tonight, whether he's causing it or just happened to be a part of it. He missed the turn 3 crash, kind of, and then he's been multiple times where he's almost hit the 22. He's made contact inside fender. It's just that Paulie's just that guy who's finding the action here tonight. Oh, contact deep in the back. Is that John Border as well?
Yeah, a couple trucks right there. John Border in the 7. Brad Miner, I believe, got into the wall. Corey Jones nearly got in the wall there back behind them. Everybody starting, Jeremy, to fade away with their tires. We talk about shredding that right front. So crucial to not come all the way out to the wall off the corner exit and really take care of that right front. It's really showing right now. Just to show you, best lap of the race is from Jonathan Gaston. He ran a 29.866 at some point during the race. And last time around, he ran a 31.849. So 2 seconds of fall off practically in a tire lifespan. So just goes to show you, those right sides really get chewed up here at Texas late in the going in these runs.
Quick shout out to our brand here at Nerd TV, Nerditudes. We are streaming live on 3 platforms here tonight and every week. Facebook and Twitch. are the other two that we're running with. I know a lot of y'all are on YouTube right now. Got 23 viewers at this moment in time. And for those who are not subscribed or liking or following our pages on Twitch or Facebook side, please go ahead and do such. We would appreciate it. It gets a little more exposure. And yeah, much love and respect from the head nerd that's producing this thing, Mr. Dustin Loxton himself. I did not say in charge, by the way, so therefore the title still remains for Miss Brandy Loxton, who's behind the scenes of the guy who's behind the scenes, helping
The boss of the
Mr.
boss.
Dustin call the action. Yeah, bosses of bosses. This is indeed true.
Yeah, it's been so fun, obviously, and that's the thing too, being a part with you guys now the last 2 years, it's been so fun to call races, be a part of some great notable works, obviously, and it's just such an open community with you guys. I know our Discord's always open, stuff like that. And big step, obviously, for us with production, with Dustin and Jeremy, you obviously, I know I've been away for a year or so now. But coming back, obviously, you guys welcome back with open arms. Grateful to be back here for this season, for this series, and also our Thursday series coming up in a few weeks. Very excited to be a part of that. As you saw, that was the 46 of Brad Miner heavily blocking that 7 of John Border. I don't know, Jeremy, he might be doing that on purpose because he did that about 2 or 3 times now, I think, off the corner, really just blocking this 7 machine.
I feel like he's the number 7 Porsche there in the Daytona Rolex 24-hour, blocking the 31 Cadillac. Just trying to. He watched it and now he's trying to replicate it as we're continuing to approach the lap count where you could go for 1 pit stop and call it a night. Right now we're on lap 77 of 120. They're going to have 44 laps to go. And if we could pull the pit report up one more time after we review this man being on a mission, leading every single lap here this evening. Abram Ghostin, driver of the 25, just lights out so far here tonight. As I got some drivers on pit ready there. 47 laps in, we got 44, 43 to go. So it is indeed pit windows open. There's some drivers on pit road, and Jason, it's getting busy.
Yeah, Jonathan Gaston, first one to dive to pit road just a lap ago. For the drivers on the track, and he's going to fall out right now, 20th. So first one to fall, green flag pit stops. Here comes another driver. This would be the number 77 machine of Chris Harrington, who's been mired back outside the top 15 all night. So a little bit off on my math, Jeremy. Pretty sure it was because we had the 1 caution, but close enough, came regardless. So lap 80 right here about. This is when you're going to start to see some of these guys coming down pit road. Big question is, I wonder what the field will do behind Abram Ghostin. And it looks like they're not even going to have an opportunity to combat him earlier on. He's going to come to pit road right here, take the easy route. In fact, he's going to really creep it down to pit road there. A lot slower than I've seen a lot of guys come down pit road. Jeremy, we're going to have to see. That might even affect him. I don't think I've ever seen the leader, usually Texas, go that slow on entry coming out of turn 4.
Well, regardless of how slow he was, that is your first registered lead change of the night. EJ Luna, driver of the number 24, does inherit the race lead virtue of these pit cycles that are currently ongoing. Lap 81 now underway as EJ leads his 2nd lap of this evening. He's got the 92 of Jonathan Hammond. 0.5 seconds is the gap before you get to the next person. Bobby Mantle, 3.3 back, who's now in 3rd. As he's passed a couple others. And the 23, I think I heard he's going in. John Border in the 7. He's going on pit road this time by. Here's Danny White in the 64. Great slide entry into his pit stall. Here's the number 6, Paulie Torrance. And they're still cycling through and through. DJ Honeycutt looks like he's coming in too.
Yeah, obviously now this is when people are going to really start to pit. I want to see if anybody's going to play the long game with these tires. We've seen so many drivers have trouble on the earlier portions of these runs with these tires trying to get up to temperature. And I feel like that's probably, Jeremy, going to be the only way that you beat Abram Ghostin here tonight. He's been lights out. That was the first lead change we've had all night with EJ Luna. Jonathan Hammond now takes the lead as EJ comes to pit road this time by. EJ hot on the brakes a little bit. No
Mantle.
tires, smoke, but yeah, it's hot. Bobby Mantle as well. These guys really trying to get everything they can out of their trucks to the entries of pit road, because if there's one thing that's good about the pit crew being default here with iRacing not having any issues, it's man, oh man, you have to execute your entry onto pit road here on iRacing.
Yeah, and you get that small threshold of 5 mile an hour to play with at the initial line, but then you have to be per section at speed. And so far, no pass-throughs have been issued to my knowledge. So we're still clear on that. 92, Jonathan Hammond, on your screen right now, has inherited the race lead. This will be your third leader amongst 2 different lead changes here tonight.
Oh!
As we're Mark Sherwood on pit road. 99's calling his shots on pit road. And, we're over halfway through cycled on these pit stops.
Yeah, and right now, Jonathan Hammond, he'll come into the pits this time by. Tyler Honeycutt will pick up the race lead. Interesting to see, oh no, the 99 around in the pits, and he'll just barely hit the wall. That's Nolan Todd for Texas Motor Sports. Been a real up and down night for them tonight over there at that group. Here comes the 22 of Donnie Honeycutt. Brad Miner's in. Corey Jones is in. Looks like the rest of everybody, Jeremy, who hasn't pitted yet, has come down to the pit lane. Alex Zirkle and Tyler Honeycutt, the only 2 left. And here they come. And whoa, Alex Zirkle, hot, and he's going to go around and hit the wall nearly. Almost ran to the back of Tyler Honeycutt. And Jeremy, just like that, it's going to cycle through. Abram Ghostin will still maintain the lead here late in the going.
And right now, he currently has a just over 4-second advantage over EJ Luna, who was second place whenever the 25 came down pit road. Now, you said Abram Ghostin had a slow pit stop, but whatever he did, he maximized his efforts. Got the bump over the 24. Now he's just waiting on the next lap to pass the 45 and 8 as they do their pit stops. And like you said, Abram will go back to being the race leader. The 72 of Jonathan Gaston, second place, being one of the first guys to come down pit road with the freshies. He got the advantage on the speed there momentarily. He's going to be second place when they cross the line this time by, and EJ Luna will be the third truck after this complete cycle.
Yeah, and Jeremy, about the Abram Ghostin pit stop, I just thought he was really slow on entry because he slowed down a ton and was on that apron going at pit road speed for quite some time before he even hit the pit entrance line. So that's why I thought, that he was a lot slower than most of the guys normally. But again, he maximized it. He comes out the leader. I really think that it was a huge missed opportunity for a lot of these guys in the field to not try to leapfrog this 25, even though I know he only pitted a few laps after the initial driver, the patient 0 for these green flag pit stops came in when he initially came in as well. So not really much you can do, but definitely I feel like somewhat of a missed opportunity for these guys behind him to try to leapfrog him on those green flag pit stops, because it's going to take a caution, obviously, now if they want to beat Abram Ghostin, who's just dominated tonight.
That is definitely on the rails here, and we're going to go through our top 10 recap since we got our last official green flag pit stop completed. And, of course, we've been talking about the 25. There's not too much more to say other than just pure dominance. Second place, Jonathan Gaston. He's up 6 positions. Got that jump there. You see EJ Luna right behind him. So that's second and third on your screen. Expect Gaston to drop back a little bit, but still overall, Jonathan being surprised here tonight inside this top 5. EJ Luna third place, trying to re-get the points lead from the man that's behind him, who's also up 10 positions. The Danny White number 64 truck. There he is from Old Dogs. He is trying to get past the 24, keep his points lead, who he just has a 1-point advantage over so far in 3 races. Bobby Mantle holds P5, still up 13 spots. It's been a while since he's lost a position, and well, here's Jonathan Hammond. He's gonna have to do something about it. He's gonna make a pass here. He was running in second and third for the most part of this race. took the later pit entry, so he's 8 seconds back of the race lead, but that gap will close as this race proceeds to the end of the next 40 laps or so. Tyler Honeycutt DJ Honeycutt holds 7th place, and Tyler Honeycutt is teammate in Ghost Motorsports. Those trucks hold 7th and 8th place, nearly on the same part of the track here as you see Tyler in the 45, doing a pretty just okay job here this evening. Not up in the front like he likes, but nonetheless, he's still running a strong race in that 45. Dustin Franklin, guy who's up 8 positions so far tonight, 17th to 9th, doing a pretty stellar job there. Ran a little too strong there in the middle of the race, had to fall back from old tires, regrouping and making a better run effort for this final stint of the race. It's in 10th place, Farrell Robbins. Haven't talked anything about this 76, up from 25th place, last on the grid. Well, I guess they're Alex Zirkle. My pylon has not updated compared to Mr. Logson's behind the scenes, so we'll go now 10th place, Alex Zirkle, up 9 positions for the driver number 8. Metro Nerd TV Top 10 recap.
I think Jeremy, obviously, the big guy who has probably put on the best performance here tonight when it comes to moving up through the field has definitely been Bobby Mansell. I know we talked about him before, but that guy up 12 spots from where he started. Could lose one right here to DJ Honeycutt, who is back by 1 spot from where he started, so he does not want to go into the negative here this race when it comes to positions gained or lost. Great job by Bobby here tonight. And the other driver who we talked about who's been so strong, if it's not EJ Luna, Danny White, last week's winner, could have easily won at Charlotte on week 1, but with the old tires, just could not hold off EJ Luna. Been so strong here tonight. And not only that, he's looking for another podium here, Jeremy. He's creeping in on the 72 of Gaston, and I think he'll easily get there with 26 laps to go here, considering he pitted about 4 laps later than Gaston. So, but still, though, Avram Ghostin, guy who has just been on rails. I don't know if I've seen a performance like this at Texas in a long time in the sim. He's got over a 3 3/4 second gap over EJ Luna. I mean, Jeremy, if you're the field, and a caution does come out, late in the going, I mean, like we've had a lot this season, what do you do to combat this 25?
You hope for a caution at this point. That's the only thing left that can bring you back, because that 25 is not making a mistake. He is just, like you said, on rails, doing a fantastic job. But that Dandy White, number 64, who's now in 3rd place, when I did the Nerd TV Top 10 recap, he was 8.1 back. Now he's 6.3 back. So he's already proceeded 2 seconds since that time. Though technically he did lose a slight amount of ground to Abram that last lap alone, as we have 23 and a half laps remaining in the Lone Star 180 presented by Texas Motor Sports. And we'll see how this lap looks for the 64, as the 24's caught a little bit of traffic with the 63 right in front of them.
Yeah, obviously some traffic here and there. It's going to happen, though. Let's take a look real quick at this track map to see where everybody is, obviously, compared to what the beginning of the race looked like. Now, because of the green flag pit stops, everybody's everywhere. You got guys in the front stretch, back stretch, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, don't matter. Everybody's everywhere. Oh, boy, and that was nearly a wreck right there behind Danny White. The 72 of Gaston looked like he was thinking about blocking Hammond, nearly put him in the wall, but was able to keep from having contact right there. So great job by those two to be aware of each other's actions, but they are battling hard here late in the going for 4th and 5th. Still just a lot of single file. This is usually how Texas goes. It's mainly usually a fuel strategy race, or it ends up being, one hell of a fight towards the end where you have a late race restart, which still could happen. Because that is the beauty of racing for stock cars, is anything can happen at any time. So we'll just have to find out here, Jeremy, with just under almost 20 laps to go.
Yep. Time's a ticking here. We're getting to the very nitty-gritty part of the race. 21 to go. Got some good racing right here at Pauly. Once again, finding some action on the track here. Got Keith Vaughn right behind him in the 23. Cycling through here. There goes the 77 up the track there to run the 2nd and 3rd groove. Mr. Chris Harrington himself, as he is falling back just a little bit from these guys. 3.5 is still the lead gap. And looks like Danny White is starting to fall off a little bit. He made that quick 2-second jump, and now he's starting to fall back. He's lost 0.3 to 0.4 seconds over the past 5 laps. EJ Luna, that's going to put a smile on his face as he is in second place. And as long as it finishes the way it does, EJ back on top of the point standings as they currently run.
Yeah, and his average finish has been a 3.0 to Danny White's 3.0 as well this season. These two have been the class of the field. Nobody has really touched them when it comes to average finish, not even in the top 5, I believe, when it comes to 5.0s. So EJ Luna is just continuing to show how strong he is in this series, along with Danny White. But, man, don't count out EJ Luna. I tell you what, we might have 19 laps to go, but if EJ can just keep on going at the pace that he is, he very well could get to this 25. That time by, they were nearly identical in lap time, but the lap prior, Jeremy, EJ Luna was about, I think, 2 to 3 tenths of a second faster, and EJ's known for picking up the pace, obviously, in these late portions of the race. You know, we talk about Charlotte. He passes Danny White on the last lap, final corner, and he had to work through it. Oh, we got one truck in the wall right there to the outside of Abram Ghost, and that looks like, I believe, the 63 of Corey Jones, if I'm correct. But again, you know, EJ Luna, so strong in the late portions. He knows how to run down a driver when need be. And speaking of running down, he just gained about nearly a second on Abram Ghost, and because Abram's battling with that lap truck who just will not give that spot up. But now, obviously, with the fresher tires, EJ gained a second. That last time around, 31.2 to Abram's 31.5. This time at the line, 31.6 for Abram to EJ's 31.3. So, Jeremy, you telling me there's a chance, possibly?
Absolutely. There's always still a chance when it comes to racing specifically, because you could have a caution and everything's just erased from all the hard work that's been done for the past 100 and some odd laps. Here's EJ Luna. It's your last lap compared to the leader's last lap. And actually, yeah, just barely. That 24 is still faster. 2.5 is the gap between himself and the race leader. You see 2.4 now down the back straightaway. Jonathan Hammond, P3, 6 seconds back. Large 3.5 seconds differentiates second to third.
Yeah, big time. And EJ's now kind of maintained that gap a little bit with Abram. Still going to need a little bit more work if he wants to get there. Just don't know if he will. Here's a good little battle going on. Danny White now falling out of the top 3. Oh, a little bit of contact nearly with Bobby Mantle there. Almost met in the middle, down out of the dog leg into turn number 1. He's under fire from not only Bobby Mantle, but here comes the 45. Mr. Tyler Honeycutt has finally found his way up inside the top 5. And here comes DJ Honeycutt as well. Remember DJ, P2 earlier on in the race. He dropped outside the top 10. Now finds himself back up to 7th when he started up at 6th. Everybody, though, kind of just minding their P's and Q's for the time being. Still battling, but this is definitely probably the best battle on the racetrack, if I had to say.
Oh, easily the best battle on the track. It is very good, too. Not just by a little bit, but it is definitely camera worthy to stick with this thing. We'll keep tracking the race leader with that scoring pylon on the right-hand side of your screen, but we're going to stick to this battle. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all up for grabs. Is on the 15. DJ getting real close to the back of the 64, Danny White. There was just probably 3 inches or less between those two bumpers as they cross the line. 12 laps remaining. And I'd like to do just a quick shout out to our website, nerditudes.gg. We have some shirts from the swag department, Nerd Swag, and they got a good price on them, and they're fun, nerdy-like shirts. You'll expect nothing less in that department from the nerds ourselves, and that's going to be at nerditudes.gg. And there's also an Extra Life link on there as well for a donation to Extra Life Foundation. You can do that all from our website. There's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of goodies not just Nerd TV. That's what you know us for, but there's a lot of other stuff on there. Go take a look.
Yeah, and so far, Jeremy, talk about the race lead. It's dwindled down now to 2 seconds. EJ Luna is coming, and I just don't know if he's going to get there. This battle, though, we were watching prior, has kind of simmered out. Tyler Honeycutt has finally made his way up into 4th, but Danny White continued to drop. He falls down to 7th to DJ Honeycutt now, who has worked his way back up to where he started. And the other Honeycutt, Donnie. Remember, Donnie was in the back earlier in the race, had to work his way, was flying, then fell off majorly due to tire wear because he was gripping it so hard. He's found his way up inside the top 10, plus 13. He's tied with Bobby Mantle and James Robbins for the most positions gained all night long with 13. And here's a Ghost Motorsports rundown. You got 4th, 6th, 10th, and 17th. Brad Miner, definitely a tough race for him tonight. Had some incidents with hitting the wall a few times. I believe he was involved in one of the accidents. But other than that, solid night for Ghost. Could not complain, any less anymore. Just been a solid night for those guys here, as obviously they're just trying to come home with a clean finish, especially Tyler Honeycutt. Jeremy, remember earlier on, first race of the year, got right hooked into the wall at Charlotte. Started off the year pretty poorly, but ever since then, he's been creeping his way up in the point standings and trying to just knock off these good finishes.
100% there. The gap still remains 2 seconds between first and second place. And this points battle has been so close up with the top 2 spots. And with Danny White dropping back just a little bit, now resides in 7th place after that great racing that we saw earlier. It's going to allow EJ Luna to gap that just a little bit here. And EJ is not letting the rest of the field catch him by any means. Tyler, who's 4th, he was 22 back. He's going to have to do a little bit more work because he's going to be a few more points away from the top spot as we're completing 1/3 of the season here tonight. The opening season has 12 races, and we're on race number 4 as we're still winding them down here and starting to get a little spaced out, Jason. A little spaced out to end the thing. It was pretty productive 4th through 7th. That's now gone. You see some grass cut throughs there. Maybe a truck loose off of 4 a few laps prior, but this man right here, the 25 Abram Ghostin, on lap 115, 6 laps to go. And just, Old Dog's got to be proud of this man here, holding the flag high for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. And Abram Ghostin came into the points 12th tonight, minus 42. And think about the bonus points, Jeremy, that he's going to get for leading all of these laps. I would not be surprised if Abram Ghostin jumps all the way up into the top 3 to top 5 in the points after tonight. This man has been on a mission. He's 5 laps away from his first victory of the year. Dominated, started P1. He's been P1 except the last green flag cycle, but knock on wood, I've had a curse here once tonight. Don't want to be a second curse again. He's maintained the gap with EJ Luna. It's been about flirting between 2.1 to about 1.95, so not really any ground gain from EJ Luna. Gonna need a caution here. 4 laps to go, but Jeremy, I don't think we've seen up here in the booth, me and you, the last few years, at least from my perspective, I haven't seen a performance like this in quite some time.
And it's quite shocking, too. The first 3 races of the season, Abram Ghostin has not even scored a top 10. Not even a top 10. It's been 11th on back for this man. And tonight, he's going to race all that, put a stat column on the top 5, top 10, and potentially in 2 or 3 laps from now, we'll have a number 1 in the win column as we're still cycling back through the rest of the drivers in the field here. There's Donnie Honeycutt. Dustin Franklin right behind him. Just nice, even pace. Everybody about 5 to 10 truck lengths from one another. Early spaced out here in the field. Here's Paulie Torrance. Charlie Bass. As they're going to run multiple lanes through this corner set. It's going to be 2 laps to go. 3 miles left for the driver, the number 25.
Yeah, man, this has just been such a clinic put on. I can't wait at the end of the race to see how many laps he led so far here tonight. Let's take a look real quick, Dustin. I just want to see compared to the 120. Look at that, 112 laps led. He leads these other 2 laps here. Jeremy coming to the white flag. He will have led 114 out of 120 laps. Just an absolute clinic off turn 4 for the second to last time. Abram Ghostin will see the white flag. And man, oh man, just 4 more corners, Jeremy. He is setting himself up pretty here heading into Talladega next week.
Yep, this is a great momentum boost. I know Talladega is its own beast, but to come out on top here tonight, it's going to feel oh so sweet. And this man's been on a Sunday cruise for over an hour. Abram Ghostin off a turn 4 for the final time is going to pick up his first top 10, first checkered flag of the season. Job well done from Old Dogs to get him a truck that was lightning fast plus some skill behind the wheel. He's going to get it done here at Texas.
Yeah, what a fantastic job. Had some other guys shuffling around the back past the checkered flag. Jonathan Gass and Alex Zirkle had one heck of a battle coming to the checkered flag. Alex Zirkle wins that battle for the 9th spot. And here comes EJ Luna, gives a little bit of bumper tag to the 25. Tell him congratulations, EJ Luna. That's going to be his 4th top 5 in a row. Fantastic for him. Danny White unfortunately loses his streak inside the top 5. He'll come home 7th. But Jeremy, kind of I feel like your classic Texas type truck series race. If it wasn't pit strategy, it was single file. If it wasn't a caution fest, it was single file. But man, oh man, what a dominating performance by this guy in this 25.
Yeah, just dominance is the only word you can use to describe this kind of thing. And it is a very Texas-like race. So have to agree with that, as he does his burn down on the front straightaway. We're going to go over the unofficial results here for race number 4 of the 2026 inaugural season. There, Abram Ghostin, EJ Luna, and Jonathan Hammond. Our top 3, we'll be talking to them. 4th and 5th was Tyler Honeycutt and Bobby Mantle. 6 through 10, it's going to be DJ Honeycutt, Danny White, Jonathan Gaston, Alex Zirkle, and a 10th place driver, Donnie Honeycutt.
And then from 11th all the way to 25th, you have Dustin Franklin there in 74, Paulie Torrance in 12th, James Robbins 13th, Nolan Todd 14th, Keith Vaughn in the 23 stayed around the 15th spot all night long. John Border with one of the best saves, I believe, of the year in 16th. Brad Miner comes home 17th. Mark Sherwood, tough night yet again for the driver of the 44. He'll come home 18th. Charlie Bass from Texas Motor Sports. He'll come home 19th. Chris Harrington, 20th. Stephen Avocet, 21st. Corey Jones comes home 22nd. Dave Harrington, 23rd. Curtis Noble, 24th. Last but not least, the number 47, 25th on the board here tonight, Alejandro Khan.
Let's see if we can get our top 3 gathered up real quick here. I see we got Abram in the waiting room, EJ Luna pulled up now, and Jonathan Hammond. Just got to get him in there, and then we are all set to go. There he is. Which we're going to bring him straight into the booth, because that is our 3rd place finisher here this evening. If I can get him up on the screen. It's taking me a minute here to do that. I don't know if I got the rights over here. Still waiting. There we go. Got Mr. Jonathan Hammond, driver of the number 92, finishes P3 tonight. Jonathan, congrats on the strong run, man.
Thank you. It was a fun race.
Yeah, 3 cautions. Those happened pretty early. Then they got really strung out there, and it became who pits first, who pits last, what's the right call. You came down a little bit late. It seemed to work out quite well. Not 2nd place, but 3rd place nonetheless. And where'd you find the speed tonight?
Just I felt comfortable. Really wanted to. You had to get that corner right. 3 and 4 just sort of letting off a little, but it's really about that clean air. You get that dirty air, you get tight in 3 and 4. But yeah, I don't think the long pitting was the best strategy. I should have probably pitted a lap or 2 earlier, but had to try something different because I know Abram was just dusting us. So yeah.
And Jonathan, congratulations on coming home P3 tonight, man. Talk about, obviously, these restarts. We saw a lot of guys have a lot of trouble getting those tires up to temp. Saw a lot of guys getting loose off too. How was it for you in the truck tonight to obviously get through 1 and 2, 3 and 4 on those fresher set of tires throughout the race, especially on those restarts?
Yeah, there was definitely one time that I got loose in 1 and 2 with the fresher tires. You definitely have to be a little on edge, but they weren't as loose as I thought they would be. But 3 and 4, pretty much, I just feel like if you didn't have any dirty air in front of you, you could pretty much floor it. But if you don't want to save those right fronts, you probably want to let off a little. But the tires are pretty good. It was a fun race.
Yeah, very fun race overall, man. Congrats on the strong performance here tonight from your team, Infield Legends, and you had a lot of people in the YouTube chats just cheering your team on, man. So good job getting it done for them. And any final shout outs before we let you go?
Oh, I wanted to shout out my team members, Con and Steven. I want to shout out Chevy, giving me a fast car, and then all my fans in the chat. And thank you for you guys with the broadcast booth.
Appreciate you, man. We'll catch you next week live from Talladega.
Sounds good. Have a good one, guys.
You too. That was the 92. Now it's time to bring in our runner-up finisher here. The driver number 24, who's going.
The rest of the
Mr. EJ Luna. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, we're doing did a pretty solid night. We had some action early, long strung out race toward the end there, and you found some really good speed in the back half of this race, solidifying second place. And walk us through your night.
Yeah, I mean, we were racing really hard. Those cautions fell, and they kept the pack together. So I was there racing DJ for a while, Jonathan. Um, Man, that was just a tough race. I'm pretty tired after that one, but I had a lot of fun. I'm glad to see everybody that made it out.
And EJ, congratulations on yet again another top 5 here tonight, man. Finishing P2. Obviously this track very difficult. I know it gets really strung out. You head into Talladega next week. Knowing these group of guys now for a little bit of a period of time, what is your expectations heading in there to next week? Just because of the chaos and how racy everybody can get here in the series.
I'm a little worried. You know how those super speedways go, but this league, these guys are getting better every week, and I really like racing with them, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats again and going back to the points lead. It's a good feeling when you step into Talladega Super Speedway. So, any final shouts before we let you go?
Hey, congratulations to Abram. That was a pretty dominant win. Jonathan fought hard for that third place. Everybody at Lone Star, everybody watching, and Nerditudes, thank you all so much for putting this on. Oh, and OTSS, the league. Can't forget about these guys for putting this together, man. You guys make this so fun.
100%. Glad to be calling the races too. Have a good night, sir. We'll catch you next week.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, man. And there it is, EJ Luna, in and out of the booth. Now we got one more driver left, Jason. It's going to be the guy who kind of took us by surprise and just ran circles around all these guys. Pun intended. Let's see if we can get his mic open. Currently muted. But Abram Ghostin, congratulations if you can hear us, man.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that. That was such a great race, such a fun one. It was nice after last week's debacle.
Well, it's your first top 10, and of course you got the checkered flag, and I'm sure you had fun. A little biased there, leading all but 5 or 6 laps tonight. Just you flipped it over, man, and went from like mediocre to just straight performance. So, is this a track that you've just been looking forward to racing at, or did you find something in the setup with the team to finally get things clicking?
Yeah, I got to give old dogs big props. We were working on things just to improve the long run performance before the race. And I didn't really get a chance to try it, but this track has always been good to me, and that adjustment they made the last time to the track, it really came back to me. So I can kind of run as hard as I want to on this track, and I don't lose anything on the long run. And so it worked out great.
And Abram, congratulations, man. First top 10 of the year, but obviously first win of the season as well, man. Talk about what this does for you. Your confidence wise. You came in tonight, not a single top 10. You're all the way down in 12th. You're more than 40 points out from the points lead. What does this do for you going forward into Talladega next week and moving forward, knowing that you could put on a performance like this at this type of racetrack?
Oh, it's great. I've never won with you guys. Like even when you're running the Sundays, with the open setup, no wins. And then with Tyler's league on Tuesdays, I got no wins. So this is my first win with this kind of combined group. So I mean, it's great for my confidence. I mean, there's certain tracks I'm just good at, and I don't always qualify that good, and I'm not super aggressive as a driver, and I need to work on that. But regardless, I hate Talladega, so I probably won't do good. But for the season itself, I felt great last week. I led a bunch of laps on some old tires, and it didn't work out for me. So yeah, confidence wise, it makes me feel good, and keep I got to keep the momentum going. And old dogs is here to stay. We gonna make some waves. We gonna get us a championship this year.
There you go.
On and out, 1/3 of the season done, and championship hopes are strong for Old Dogs, man. Well, congrats, dude. Awesome performance. Hopefully you do better than what you think you're going to do at Talladega. And any final shout-outs?
Oh man, you guys, I love watching it back. Nerd TV is awesome. Appreciate the commentating. It's funny because you guys understand, kind of what the drivers are going through. I mean, I was sweating my butt off for this racing, and I always laugh when guys are like, "Man, I'm sweating," and I'm like, "How are you sweating?" Well, I was sweating today, so that pressure, of trying to pull it off, it gets to you, so that intensity. So it felt great, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my wife. I appreciate Old Dogs giving me this opportunity, to run with them, to allow me to jump in as a charter. So I'm excited. I had a great race with EJ and Jonathan, obviously Danny and Jonathan Gaston too. Jonathan Hammond, who's talking about the top three. But I mean, it was a clean race, and I thought last week was pretty bad. So it was just great to race with the league and race the way we're supposed to. And it was really fun. I'm glad I came out on top. But even if I hadn't, that was just an awesome race to be able to go clean like that.
100% there, dude. We'll catch you next Tuesday live from Talladega. But enjoy tonight, man. That was a good one for you.
Appreciate you, fellas. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Zabram Ghost and driver number 25. Jason, he made a mention of he could just drive the thing and the tires would not wear out. How do you do that on a fixed setup and everybody else is experiencing the tire wear? What kind of magic do you have to do with the steering ratio or brake bias, or how do you? It's just on a different level compared to everybody else tonight.
Yeah, well, obviously, you use that 16-to-1 steering ratio when it comes to the fixed setup because that's one of the, very few adjustments you're allowed to make with these fixed setups. And it enables you to turn that wheel just a little bit less. So it really helps out, especially at Texas. I personally was always good at Texas. I always felt like as sucky as this track was to me, I don't care what anybody says, I hate this track. I wish that they would just blow it up and make a new
Me too.
track. And I know that's how pretty much a lot of people feel. It's a tough track. You get very frustrated. Traffic gets very heavily condensed. You feel like you can't go anywhere no matter what you do because it's a one groove racetrack. You could run that middle lane in 3 and 4, but it's not like you're running the middle lane. You're running still, basically at the right rear of the guy in front of you's truck or car or whatnot may be. But at the end of the day, though, you just got to make sure that you're not getting back to the throttle as much. You're letting the car roll and obviously laying off. If you dive it in too much, you're going to slide that right front a lot more, especially on corner exit. Talked about it at the beginning of the show, middle of the show, end of the show, and even to close it out now. You cannot exit all the way out to the wall in these 1.5 miles, especially Texas, because you wear out that right front a ton. And obviously, for Mr. Adam Ghost, and he figured out the secret formula, I guess, of tire saving at Texas. And he was able to bring it home. Just what an absolutely dominating performance. Haven't seen one like that in the sim in a while, especially for my first few races back. I can't really recall one where I really saw one like this. I know a lot of these guys are saying too that they're hating Talladega, they don't like Talladega, but mark my words, you're going to see a lot of guys up at that front next week that you haven't probably seen all season long so far. Names that we are either saying that they're wrecking or we're not even talking about them the whole night. So next week should be a fun one, especially with some points on the line.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good chance for someone to revive the first 4 races and get a start maybe to climb up the podium. We'll catch it all live next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, on 3 platforms again. It'll be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So make sure you subscribe, follow all those pages that we have to broadcast these races to you. And that's going to close it out, Jason. Appreciate you joining in. You will not be here next week. You're going to be at a hockey game. So Dustin Logston going to pull double duty back in the booth with me and doing the cam work and whatnot. So we'll see at Dega. Dustin's favorite track. Not the drivers here, but that's definitely Dustin's bread and butter. So there you go. He's going to be calling it with me. So you guys stay safe.
I guess it's the right broadcast for me to leave because Dustin loves Talladega. It's like his favorite thing in the world.
You know, there was a moment 2 years ago where Jason was like, let me just race one race as a one-off. And he happened to win the race during the broadcast. So he likes to step
I did
out
a
of
truck
the booth
race.
at
I ended up
Talladega.
losing that.
So maybe his team will win next week since he's going to be at the game, you know? It's
Maybe. We'll find
bound
out.
to happen.
Go Devils.
Yep. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And then Thursday, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, we got 2 shows a week. So we'll see you then. So you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on. It's not goodbye. It's just till next time. We'll see you then.
Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns and the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolling with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel through the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Fight to fight, we live the speed. The TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Through each hairpin, a battle unfolds. Victory forged in the fire of the bold. Neon dreams fuel the tracks we tear. No TV shows us who dares to care. Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns and the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is Fingers roll, the fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors